Redlands, Santa Clarita, can you hear us?
Redlands can hear you.
Santa Clarita can hear you as well.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome everyone to today's meeting. It is March 6, 2025. I would like to call to order tonight's meeting. It is 4:16 p.m. Let's go ahead and start with roll call. My name is Amber and I am present. Angela?
Present.
David is absent. Sarah?
Present.
Shannon?
Present.
Olivia?
Present.
Craig?
Present.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. If I can have you all stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thank you so much, everyone. Can I please get a motion for the approval of the agenda?
I'll make a motion for approval.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstains? The ayes have it. Motion approved. Moving on to item 6, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstains? The ayes have it. Okay, moving on to communication from the public. Santa Clarita, do we have anyone at your location that would wish to speak?
I do not have anyone here in Santa Clarita.
Okay, thank you so much. Redlands, do we have anyone at your site that would like to speak?
Not at this time.
Wonderful, thank you so much. And we don't have anyone here either, so we're going to go ahead and move to item 8, which is comments from board members concerning items not on the agenda. Do we have any comments from board members? Okay. Moving on to the consent agenda, can I get a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda, please?
I motion to approve.
I'll
I-
second. Okay, sorry.
So Angela, second. All those in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstains? The ayes have it. Motion approved. Moving on to item 10, the report and communication to the Board of Directors by Olivia Duran.
Hello, board members and the public. Want to just acknowledge all the hard work that our staff is doing. We had our fiscal team working together with DMS to make sure that we got our second interim taken care of. AVRC, I traveled to Santa Clarita 2 weeks ago to meet with their facilitators, spent some time with them. That was a great time. AVRC, I came up last week when they had their open house, was a part of their Eagle Huddle when they left their to go out and decorate the rooms, was able to visit the rooms. So that was exciting to see what the kids are doing and what the facilitators are doing here on the campus. Redlands Art Show, they had that last Saturday at Redlands at the building there on a Saturday. Miss Walker, who is the art director or art facilitator there, she put up all of the kids' artworks, for all the different grade levels. Has a docent come around and bring you around and explains what each section is, and they have little appetizers. So it was really neat to be able to be a part of that and to see the students' artwork and all their hard work that they've done through the year. So that was just some updates on the RCs. We have a CCSA conference happening next week. Hopefully next year it's going to be down here in Southern California. So any board members, if you are wanting to join us, we are more than happy to have you come in. There's a whole section of board things, sessions and sessions that happen during that conference. So if you haven't attended a conference yet and you would like to attend, let me know. CCSA, also CSDC is also another good one for board members to attend, but you get a lot of knowledge and sort of understand the role of what charters are and the role that you have as a board member. So it's a great opportunity. Sarah Hayworth has attended and Angela, Amber's also attended. So come back and they've learned just new things. We have Denise Rainin is at the School Pathways Conference right now up in Sonoma. So she's learning our student system, being that she's helping with some of the HR duties, having to get in and make sure that our teaching credentialing and new employee information is correct. So she's there learning that. That's why we have Ms. Kramer doing our slides for us today. Our enrollment, we closed our enrollment February 28th for this current year. It's going to give our enrollment staff time to finish up this year before we open up the new enrollment. Our numbers look really good right now. So we were able to, and usually we try to hold it open until April just to try to make sure that we get as many students in as possible, but we felt very confident with our enrollment right now. So it's going to help with our CASP testing. Once kids are enrolled with us later in the year, we have to make sure their information's correct. If they're a SPED student, their IEP accommodations are all in the system so that it gets reported to CalPADS, that then gets reported to our testing system. So it's a long process. So hopefully it'll be a smoother testing window, which opens Monday. So our CASP testing window opens Monday for 2 weeks. It's open until the end of the year, but we're trying to get all of our students, the majority of them, tested with their PLTs the next 2 weeks. All the resource centers are going to be closed next week to be able to accommodate that so the kids don't feel like they're missing resource center classes. And also it allows for PLTs or SPED staff to be at the resource center to use those rooms if they need to do one-on-one testing, things like that. What else? Graduation dates are there for you. Santa Clarita is May 20th. Antelope Valley is May 21st, and Redlands is going to be May 28th because that's when we were able to get the Redlands Bowl reserved. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for the director's report. Do you have any questions? We have second interim that we're presenting today, which needs to be sent to LA County and then to San Bernardino County as well tomorrow. So.
All right, so since we have no questions, I'll just have you stand up there, Olivia. So we will move on to item 11A, which is the review, discussion, and approval of second interim budget.
So we had Debbie Howard from DMS help us with our second interim. We had all of our departments turn in their budgets. Then we turned them to Debbie, and she did her magic on the back end and collaborated, did everything, threw it all together for us. And happy to present. Do you have I don't have the memo in front of me. Oh, okay. Okay. Debbie, do you have that information in front of you?
I sure do. I can share
Okay.
my screen.
So this is Debbie Howard from DMS.
Good afternoon. Oh, I need someone to let me share.
He's getting it. Hold on. Both of the schools went down in our deficit. So first interim, I believe we were roughly around 600 for each school. SBSC, we did go down quite a bit, and that had to do with department that had quite a few positions in that budget that were no longer going to be filled for this year. So we were able to take those out, which allowed for the deficit to be lower. And SBSC, we just asked everyone, all the departments, to cut their budgets, their supplies, things like that, that by this time in the year, if they don't need it, absolutely need it, then to cut it. So that's why that deficit went a little bit lower. So Debbie, you're on.
Yeah, okay. So overall, as Olivia mentioned, the anticipated net revenues did increase for both sites with some strategic alignment of staffing and other expenses at both schools. Both schools will maintain positive cash flow over the next 3 years. And let me pull up multi-year. This is for both schools combined, your multi-year projection. Still forecasting a little bit of a deficit next year. and then come out of that for years 3 through 5. So overall, it is a strong financial picture for both schools. Are there specific questions from the board that I could help address or that Olivia could help address?
Debbie, what was the number for GLC?
So GLC was originally at first interim a negative 633, and now we're at a negative 438. So a gain of $194,000. And at your other school, bear with me while I.
For SBSC?
First interim was a negative 637, and now we're projected a negative 53,000. So quite a bit of a gain there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Debbie? And if not, then I ask that you would approve the second interim budget for SBSC and for GLC.
I motion to approve.
I second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstains? The ayes have it. Motion approved.
Thank you, Debbie, for your time.
Thank you so
You're
much,
very
Debbie.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, moving on to item 11B, which is the review and discussion of the WAS mid-cycle visit.
So this was our WASC visit. I just wanted to share the slides that they shared with us for GLC. Next year, we will be going into a progress visit for SBSC, which is just a check-in as well. But a couple of the things they wanted to highlight, some of our strengths, developing the GVA, the Gorman Virtual Academy, has enhanced the school's ability to offer additional workshops for students. Number 2, the school has a robust system, the PLT dashboard that Ms. Walker has created for us. We've used it a couple years where the teachers are just able to go in and see their whole student roster, test scores, iReady scores. If things are turned in, if they have a Chromebook checked out to them, it's like their one-stop shop place to go. So he was really thrilled with that. And number 3, the school staff fosters long-term working relationships with students and families that serve and address the needs of the whole child and building a strong personalized learning plan. So he was with us for one day. He met with all of the educational partners, staff, administrators, students, teachers, parents, and this is what he got out of it. So, and then a couple areas which we also agreed on for focus was goal 1 was to advance the personalized learning model. So basically continue to do what we're doing. Goal 2 is to involve and support families, which always is a challenge for any school, especially with non-classroom based, because our families do put in so much for their students and for their children to get them to come on and do an extra meeting or to, you know, give insight and things like that. Sometimes it's a challenge to get them. So that's a goal that he asked us, which we agree with as well. And then goal 3 was to strengthen college and career culture. So that's that CTE program, that getting the kids to the 4-year college or even to the JC. Yeah. So, which was something that we had in our original report. So it's all things that as a school, as stakeholders, we agree with. So, and then as you can, he talked about the CTE program, which would help overall with the college and career dashboard. So good visit. He was very happy with the school, and I wanted to share that because it's kudos to us. We're continuing to do a great job and to serve our families and our students. So it was just a presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Moving on to item 11C, which is the review, discussion, and approval of the 2025 through 2026 GLCN calendar.
So this is a product of, we brought the calendar to the last board meeting and it was approved. And then myself and Sylvia and David Estrella we're sitting in a CBO training with CSDC, and they started talking about calendars and they said, that has to be done this way. And I'm like, oh, we just got it approved and it's not done this way. So I wanted to make sure that we do it correctly. And so CDE says the purpose of a school calendar is the school district. It's the attendance calendar begins either the first week of July or the first week that the students are scheduled to attend. And then each school month consists of 4 weeks, 5 days each. All school months consist of 20 days, beginning on a Monday and ending on a Friday. And then winter break may or may not be included in that. So we went ahead and we revised the school calendar to to make sure that we're following the CDE. And also, one of the questions that has always come up for us at least for myself, was the P2s. So P2s is April 15th. The state pulls how many students we have at that time, and that's how we get funded for the following year. And we always thought that we had to get as many days before that P2 date. So that's why we sort of shifted some of the calendar months. But I found out that actually even if we don't end on that P2 date, that April 15th date, then we just get funded for that at a later date. So we still get funded for those days. It's just not as soon as, the P2 funding comes in, if that makes sense. I just wanted to give a little explanation as to why we're bringing this back and why there was the change. So are there any questions with the new calendar?
Yes, what is the beginning date for fall school returning?
So fall, they would return on August 18th. And the last date would be May 21st. Week for winter break, a week for Thanksgiving break, and 2 weeks, 2 weeks for winter, 1 week for spring, and a week for Thanksgiving. And then the national holidays. So if there's no other questions or no other concerns with this calendar that I'm asking you to approve, you can approve it for the 25.
I motion to approve.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstains? The ayes have it. Motion approved. Moving on to the review, discussion, and approval of health and safety immunization requirements, board policy 5006.3, presented by Olivia.
So this is an update to our immunization policy as we begin to ask our students to be immunized to attend the resource center. I want to make sure that our policies are up to date. Our last policy was not updated back, the last time it was 2001. So some laws and things have changed. So we want to make sure that we are on the up and up and that our policies reflect the laws that are in place now. Are there any questions about the current immunization policy that I'm asking for approval for? And if not, if you can, I ask for approval for the immunization policy.
I'll make an motion to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you.
All those in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstains?
I'll abstain.
Okay, well, the ayes have it. Thank you so much. Moving on to item 11E, which is review, discussion, and approval of travel expenses policy 4004.1 and employee travel expenses administration regulation 4004.2.
And I'm asking Sylvia Montanjeno to help me because she was the one that helped craft it. So this is,
Hey, everyone. So we have a board policy and administrative regulation for travel expenses. What the board policy is, it explains what the process is. And a board policy is going to explain how we execute the board policy or how we go about the process. The travel expense board policy was an existing board policy, and we are bringing recommendations to the board with verbiage revisions and minor board policy actual changes. So some of them being, for example, an employee has 30 days to submit their claim for reimbursement. It explains travel per diem reimbursement amounts and mileage reimbursements. And so we are requesting that the board approves these changes. In addition to the board policy, we have the administrative regulation. And again, it explains how an employee or board member would go about to submitting a claim for reimbursement based on the parameters on the board policy. Yes, it's the same one. It came out in different colors.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor, sorry, ayes. Aye. Any nays or abstains? The ayes have it, motion approved. Okay, moving on to item 11F, which is the review, discussion, and approval of personnel absenteeism and tardiness and personnel policy 7007.1, absenteeism and tardiness administration regulation 7007.2, presented by Sylvia and Olivia.
Thank you. Again, this is a board policy and administrative regulation. These are a new policy and a new administrative regulation, and it outlines the parameters for employees to report absences and tardiness, and in conjunction with the administrative regulation as far as how one should go about reporting it, as far as the employee, the supervisor, and administration.
Can I get a motion to approve?
A motion to approve.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstains? The ayes have it. Motion approved. Thank you so much, Sylvia and Olivia. And we will now go ahead and adjourn to closed session. It is 4:38 PM.
You staying here?
Please,
You guys.
let's stay here. Yeah,
Yeah.
please.